Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Dipta Savalia, and today we will learn how we will solve linear equations with fractions. So we will work with these 5 examples and how we will solve this. We will use these 2 strategies, uh, which one we can work with. So here we have 2 strategies. Solve equation with fractions. Strategy number 1. So first thing we will check how many terms we have in equation. We have more than 2 terms, then we can use strategy number 1. If we have only 2 terms, then we will use strategy number 2. I will let you know what does that mean in a minute. Okay, so let's see example. First example we have here. So we will check here in example number 1, we have x over 3 plus 5 equal x over 2. So first thing I will count how many terms we have. So we will check here, we have 1 term, we have 2 terms, and we have 3 terms. So we have 3 terms. So we will use number 1 strategy. So what does that mean is we have to find LCM first. That is your step 1. Okay. And how we will find LCM from both sides. So see, we have x over 3, we have 5. We don't have anything under 5, so we can write 1 and x over 2. So we need to find LCM from 3 and 2. So what is LCM in between 2, 3, and 1, which is 6. That is your step 1. Step 2, we will multiply by 6 to each term on both sides. So here we have, we will multiply by 6, multiply by 6, and multiply by 6. Very simple. Step 3, we will use clear fraction. So what does that mean? We can just reduce this fraction. Here we have 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Here we cannot reduce anything because we have just 1 in denominator. We have 2 times 3 is 6. So now we can just write simple equation, whatever leftover is. So what is leftover? 2 times x is 2x plus 6 times 5 is 30 equal 3 times x is 3x. So step number 4, we have linear equation now. So we will solve for variable. So now we have x on both sides. So we can remove 2x. So we can subtract 2x on both sides. So now we have 30 equal x, and that is answer. Everyone is good so far? Okay. Let's see next example. So my step 1, what is our step 1? We will count how many terms we have, right? So we have here 1 term and we have 2 terms. So only we have 2 terms, right? Also, you can use this as single fraction, equal single fraction. In a math, anywhere, if you will say single fraction equals single fraction, always you can do cross multiplication. Okay, that is strategy number 2. Before we will do cross multiplication, we have first term on numerator, we have 2 terms. So I will write parenthesis. So I will not forget to distribute property. 3 equals 6 over 1. I don't have anything under 6, so I will write down 1 under 6. And then we can do cross multiplication. We can do cross multiplication like this. Okay, so we can multiply 3 times 6 is 18. I can write 3 times 6 and I can say 1 times x plus y. So we can do distributive property. 3 times 6 is 18 equal 1 time anything, it's exactly same, so x plus y. And now we can solve for variable. So we can subtract 5 on both sides. 18 minus 5 is 13 equal x. And that is your answer. You can always plug in back in your equation and check your answer. All right, let's say third one. All right, so you can pause video and do this problem by yourself and check your answer with me. All right, what is your step one? Is we will count how many terms we have. How many terms we have? We have 2 terms. Or we can write single fraction equals single fraction. So that means, what do I need to do? Cross multiplication. Right. So I will rewrite this problem. 8 minus 4x. We have 2 terms on numerator. So before we will do cross multiplication, we will do parenthesis. Over 4 equal 6 over 1. Now we can do cross multiplication. So you can do this and here. So 4 times 6 equal 1 times 8 minus 4x. So 4 times 6 is 24 equal 8 minus 4x. Now we can just solve for variable. So I subtract 8. 24 minus 8 is 16 equal negative 4x. And now we can divide by negative 4. So x is negative 4. Okay. Everyone is getting these rules. Which strategy you need to use? Let's see other one. All right. Step 1. How many terms we have? Right. We will count. We have 1 term. We have 2 terms. And we have 3 terms. So which strategy we will use? Number 1 or number 2? We have more than 2 terms, right? So we will use strategy number 1. In that strategy number 1, what is our first step to do it? Find LCM. And what is LCM between 2 and 4? That is our denominator, right? So LCM is 2 and 4, which is 8. Okay. Second step is you multiply by LCM, which means 8, multiply by 8 to each term on both sides. Okay. So here we have, first thing I will rewrite this equation, and always I will keep space in between 2 terms. So I will get enough space to write LCM. Now we need to multiply by LCM, which is 8. I will multiply by 8, multiply by 8, and multiply by 8. What is next step? Next step is you will clear fraction. So here we have 2, we have 8, right? So we can reduce this fraction. We have 4, and here 4 times 2 is 8. Now we can just simple write down whatever we have left over. So we can say 4 times 1 is 4, x plus 1 equal 2 times 1 is 2x plus 8 times 5 is 40. So now we need to solve for variable. Step 4, solve for variable. Now we will use multi-step. We have multi-step equation, right? So we will make two part, and on left hand side, we have parentheses. We have to simplify. That means we will use distributive property. 4x plus 4 equal 2x plus 40. Now we have variable on both sides. So which one we will remove? We can remove 2x or 4x, either one you can do, but smartly we can just think here, I want to keep positive coefficient of variable end of the problem, right? So if I will remove 4x, I will end up with negative 2x. Sometimes negative sign mess up, right? So we will try to keep away from negative sign if we can. So I will subtract 2x on both sides. So now we have 2x plus 4 equal 40. So now we can subtract 4 on both sides. So 2x equal 36. And now we have 2x, right? So we will remove 2. We divide by 2. So x is 18. Now, I hope you are getting clear when we have equation with fractions. Let's see next one. All right, you guys tell me which strategy number we will use, number 1 or 2. Number 1, if we have more than 2 terms, we will use number 1 strategy. If we have only 2 terms, you can use strategy number 2, right? So we will see how many terms we have. We have 1, we have 2, and we have 3 terms. So strategy number 1. In strategy number 1, what you need to find first? LCM. And what is LCM is? In between 4, 2, and 8. LCM is 8. So let's say we will rewrite this equation. Keep space in between 2 terms, so we will get enough space to write LCM. Okay. Now what is step 2? You multiply by 8 on both sides of equation. Okay, so we have 8. We'll multiply by 8 and multiply by 8. So we did second step. Step 3. What is step 3? We need to clear this fraction, right? All right, so we can just reduce this. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 2 is 8. And here is 1. So now whatever left over, we will just rewrite this. 2 times 3x is 6x equal 4 times 5 is 20 minus 1 times 7 is 7x. Okay. Next step. So now we have simple equation. You will solve for variable. All right, so we have x on both sides, right? So which one we will remove, 6x or 7x? Either one we can do it, but smart way, we will try to keep away from negative coefficient end of the problem. So think about, if you will remove 6x, you will end up with negative 13x. But if I will remove 7x, negative 7x, I will end up with positive 13x, right? So I will add 7x. So now we have 13x equal 20. And now we just need to simplify. Solve for x. So we will divide by 13. So x is 20 over 13. I will just check, can we simplify? That means reduce this fraction. We cannot reduce this fraction, so we will just leave as a fraction because my original problem is fraction. So I will not convert my answer in decimal unless if it tells you to give your answer in decimal. So I'll just give original form is fraction. So yeah, that's it. So I hope everyone clear how to solve linear equations with fractions. Everyone got these two strategies. When we have only two terms, you use um, single fraction equals single fraction. That means you will do cross multiplication. And if we have more than two terms, you will use this strategy number one. You find LCD, then you multiply by LCD to each term on both sides, then you clear fractions, and then you can solve for variable. I hope this video will help you. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel and write in a comment. What do you think? What is your questions? How do you like this one? What next video you want to get help from me? All right. Thank you very much for being here and see you next time.